All right, so recording has started. I'll start my discussion now. After we have this discussion. Last lecture we talked about the control statement, and we started with if statement, and even the lecture before. I'll go through it very fast just to remind you about it, or to discuss. Of course, this has been repeated 3 times till now, and this is the 4th time. In if statement, usually you have if and then condition. All right. If the condition is true, then these instructions will be executed. Otherwise, if it's true, if it's false, then it will skip everything and goes to the next instruction. And we discussed this also as an example. If x is positive or negative, okay, we said I will read x regardless of the value. Let's say consider if x minus 2, all right, then if x greater than or equals 0, this condition will be false because x is minus 2. Minus 2 is not greater than or equals 0. Then it will go here, will keep continue or will continue executing. Then it will print the end of program. If we give x as plus 2, then if x, which is plus 2, is greater than or equals 0, then it will go in this direction or takes this path. It will take this path, and it will print like C out x is positive, and continue executing. Now next here, in this example, write program that check if integer is positive or negative. Yeah, we've given x equals 5. All right. Now is 5 greater or equals 0? Yes, it's greater than or equals 0. Then this condition is true. If it's true, then the execution or the instruction that will be executed is this one. If it's false, then it will jump to the last instruction and execute it. Now, if it's true, that means it will execute this one and continue to the next instruction. Okay. If it's false, it will skip that. This is another, or this is the same question. Okay. If x C out the number is positive, it's the same answer for the previous question. All right. Now, if and else if, I prefer to redo it here. Even I think this diagram, we need to clean it. All right. So here, if and else if. Now, in this case, this is only the if, sorry. This if and else, if and else, sorry, if else only. All right. Now, suppose that you want to check if x is positive. I will not write it like this, is positive. Okay, print positive. If or otherwise, print negative. And in all case, print end of program. All right, so here I'll define the value of x. Let's say x equals 5. All right, here the condition is x greater than or equals 0. Now, if x is greater than, this is the first case, x is greater than or equals 0 is true, then it will come here, takes this path. In this case, I will write here C out positive. Of course, it's just short of the message. All right, so the output will be positive number. Okay, and continue. So not stop here. And here, for example, I will write print or C out end. Okay, then it's a print here, and then goes to the end and printed, and that's it. The program ends. Now, what if? Let me just check, change the color so you can differentiate. If I give x equals -3. This is the second case. The red one is the first case. The second one is, or the second case is the green one. So is x greater than or equal 0? -3 is not greater than or equal 0. Then it's false. It will go in this direction. Okay. Why? Because x equals -3 with the condition is false. Then it comes here. Here it will write C out. For example, negative. So here the message will be C out, not C out. Negative number, and continues to execute the rest of the program in which to write ends. So in this case, I have two paths. The difference between this one and the previous one in the if statement, I have only one path. Either to go or one block to do. If it's false, it will go directly continue execution. While here I have two paths. Notice that here I emphasize that this should not be considered. There's no way to have more than two paths, either true or false. Okay, so it's, you will never or do not use third output from this conditional diagram. Okay. Now example, write program to check whether integer is positive or no. If the integer is positive, the program prints the number is positive. Otherwise, the program prints the number is negative. So here also I'll delete this. All right. Here, if you can see, the idea is to check whether the number is positive or negative. Okay, so if x is greater than or equal 0, it will print the message the number is positive and end line. Else, why I didn't write else if x less than 0? Of course, since it is greater than or equal 0, if it greater than or equal 0 is false, then for sure this will be less than 0. So else, and usually when to know where to use else, so many times you'll find it in the question like otherwise. Okay, if you can see here, otherwise can be translated to else in programming. Okay. Also, the word whether, check whether, that means if statement. Just to let you know, this is the way how to understand the keywords that you need to use. Okay, so else, see how the number is not positive, end line and end of program in all cases. In this case, what will be the output? Usually you'll get a lot of questions like this. What is the output of this program? What to do now? I'll take x equal -4. Come to the next step. X is -4, so -4 is greater than or equal 0, then this condition is false. If it's false, it will skip the everything and goes to the next instruction or next block. Here is certain like the number is not positive, then the program will print the number is not positive. Okay, and continue after executing, continue to write end of program. All right, so if you get a question like this, what will be the output of this code segment of this program? You need to follow it like this. All right, now if, else, if, and else. Sometimes you have more than one option. If you can see in the first case, I asked you, or the question was, if the number is positive only. In the second case, If the number is positive or otherwise write it's negative, then I have if and else. Now, the third one, if I have more than one condition, write program that compare two integers, x and y. Print if x greater than, so I have first case x greater than y, the second one is x equal y, and the third one x less than y. So if and else is not enough. If statement alone is not enough. Okay, if else is not in. Why? Because this considers one condition, and here is not. It considers two cases. All right. Then in this case, I will use if, else if, and else. Of course, you can use any number of else ifs. If you want to check 10 conditions, then you can use 10 else if. But it has to start with if and end with else if. Else is optional. You can use it and you cannot, and you can ignore it. Now the question is, I want to enter two numbers, two characters. Two numbers, two integers. Compare them and give a message based on their values. So here, if I give integer x equal 5, integer y equal 5, I have the first condition is if x is greater than y, then C out as is greater than y. So in this case, let's test it. 5 is greater than 5, so the condition is false. It will skip this, will go to the next place. So else if x less than y, 5 less than 5, the condition is false. So again, it will skip it and goes to the next one. Else if x equal 5, then 5 equals 5, the condition is true, then it will write this message and continue execution. Okay. Now, of course, if we have another value, for example, x equals 7, in this case, also I'll use different colors just to consider the. So if x is equal to 7, then here x greater than y, that means 7 greater than 5, which is true, then it will come here, execute this instruction, and leave the rest and go to the end. Okay? So only one case will be executed. Here, if I can see, yes. See, in some cases, here I have x greater than y, and I have x less than y. If this is false, and this is false, then x equals y is true, for sure. Either x is greater, or x is less than, or x is equal to y, or is equal y. So in this case, I can remove this if statement. Okay, if this condition is not correct, is false. This condition is false, then for sure this condition is true, so I can remove, and this is what we did here. We removed this, the condition. Why? Because it depends on the previous conditions. Okay. Now, last example, write a program that reads an integer and check if the integer is odd or even. And I remember we discussed thoroughly the mod operation. We said if 7 divided by 3, then divided by 2, then the result is 3, and 1 over 2. The remainder will be 1, and then it's odd. So I found that if the number mod 2 equals 1, then it's odd, right? If n mod 2 equals 0, then it's even. In this case, we prepare this one, read an integer. If x mod 2 equal 1, yes. If yes, then C out odd. If it's not true, here it means true. Okay, if it's false, then C out even. Okay, and both will go to the same location. Also, you can do it in another way. You can write it if x mod 2 equals 0, then this direction will be true, right? And this direction will be false. All right. So there's no one way to write things. All right, this is the code, and this is what one of your friends asked me to repeat it. So here integer x, then I will read the value of x. Oh, come on. Okay, here I defined integer x. Here message to read the value, then cnx. Now if x mod 2 equals 1, so suppose that I enter 7, then 7 mod 2 equals 1 for sure, then this condition if x mod 2 is equal 1, then the number is odd. Else if x mod 2 equals 0, then the number is even, and in all case we'll execute this one. Now also I can remove this one, by the way. This part can be removed. Why? Because from our discussion, if the number is not odd, then for sure it's even. Okay, if you want to use, for example, if x here mod 2 is equal to 0, the number is even, then else you can use it as odd. So there are many ways to answer this question. Now here, yeah, I removed the else. If you can see, I removed the condition from the else. Now this is the question that I asked you to answer. Now it's about time to answer it. So here I got a message from one of you. I don't know who is it. This is not in our course, some other courses. All right, so let's answer this question. So here, the idea is to check if a number can be divided by 7 or is a multiple of 7 or not. So what to do here? What I'll do, of course, same as we did with 2 with even and odd, I will read the number. Okay, and mod 7. If it's equal 0, then it is, or n is multiple of 7. صح? Why? For example, take 14. 14 mod 7 equals 2 and 0 over 2, and that means I have 0. Okay, take 15. 15 divided by 7 equals 2 and 1 over 7 here, sorry, not 1 over 7, that 1, so it's not multiple. Take 16 divided or 7 equal 2 and 2 over 7, so I got 2. See, in odd and even I have only 0 or 1, but in other numbers I get more, like 17. Mod 7 equals 2 and 3 over 7. 3. 17, 18. Mod 7, 2 and 4 over 7, that means 4. I'll continue and have 5 and 6. So instead of considering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cases, I can consider only the 0, because if the number is divisible by 7, then the result will be 0. This will be done with any other number. If I give you a question, write the code that to check if the integer can be divided, or sometimes instead of this, I write it as multiple of. of 6, for example. Okay, so to write the code, I'll write it to you now. Out our first integer n. Okay. I'll increase the size a little bit more. Out enter an integer. Right. And now here I'll define if n mod 7 equals 0. Again, I can, by the way, I can remove these parentheses, but just to show you, and then I remove it. Out the number is a multiple of 7, right? End line. Else. Okay, else I don't need to write the other cases because I have only one condition. Out the number is not multiple of 7, end line, and that's it. Okay, let me run it. First, let me just take a copy, just in the case if there will be any problem. All right, so here enter an integer. Let's consider 18. Okay, not an integer, sorry. Yes, integer. The number is not a multiple of 7. Let's try it again and enter, for example, 28. The number is a multiple of 7. Okay, so this was your question. I'll share it with you now. All right, so do you have any other questions? This is the answer that. Any questions? All right, if you don't have, then I'll continue with some questions here. I just prepared a few questions to you. Yeah, odd and even we did it. Okay. Now I'll create or share with you a question. Write program that reads your mark and print the equivalent grade. For example, 50 is pass. 60. By the way, this is the grade, not the GPA. Okay, the mark, any mark. 60, I think 60 is satisfactory. 70, not 50, from 50 to no, this needs. I'll postpone this question because you need to use and or. That's it. No, I'll keep it for later. All right. So, any question about this this part? Okay. If you don't have questions, then I have to go and continue with the loops. Now I have shared this with you, this lecture. We will continue with another lecture, which is the lecture number 6 or 5.1, I'll call it. All right, so 0.5. We will talk about the while instruction, and if we continue on for statement. All right, so this one is done. Okay, let me just 1 second to organize things. 5.1. Okay. So 5.2, we'll talk about the while instruction. Okay, this is lecture 5.2.05. While loop. I'll explain to you now what's the while. What the while loop is. The while loop here. This is the diagram or the flow chart of while. I'll just copy it and put it in the presentation so we can discuss it easily. By the way, the word while in Arabic means talama. So it means while, as long as the condition is true, then execute this part. So what I'll do here, I'll give you an example also. Okay, so here is the while. The while is you have condition. I write it like this: while h, while condition. Okay, do this. It will continue doing this forever unless there's a reason to stop. Like if I say, for example, write a program that reads numbers, integers, and prints them continuously. Continuously means forever. But here, the program stops when you enter minus 99. Okay, it's just example. Why 99? Nobody knows. It's just an example. You can change it any number, like -1, minus, or enter 0. That means I want you to write the program which continuously read, ask you to enter a number and print it, ask you and print it forever. But if you want to stop this execution, you have to enter minus 99. All right, so let's get back here. The condition is n not equals 99. All right, that means as long as the condition is true, it will ask you again to enter an integer, right? When you enter 99, the condition is true, Sorry, the condition will be true. Yeah, this not equal, not equal. So it's true. When you enter 99, then the condition is false. Why? Because I said n not equals 99. But if you enter 99, that means n equals 99. So the condition will be false. It will stop execution. All right. So I write this program and we will discuss further how to write the while instruction. OK. First of all, I have defined an integer. Then I will use the instruction while. Then here the condition while n not equals we said minus 99. All right. Again, block. Here I enter. And I don't need all these things. And see out backslash and or no need. You have entered n and end line. All right. And here you have to close this block. So while now I have n, but at the beginning, by the way, give n equals 0. Okay, it's not important. It will not happen that at the beginning n will be minus 99, but it's better to give it initial value. Now what will happen in this program? Integer n equals 0 while n not equal minus 99. The condition is false, is true. It will come here and ask you to enter an integer n. Then it will go to print this one and go back again and check continuously. So let's execute it and see. All right, you can see here 9. Okay, you have entered 9. 7. You have entered 7 minus 8. Okay, it will continue forever. If you want to stop it, then if I enter minus 99, all right, that's it. Exit code. Stop. End of program. Right? Also, I can write message here at the end. See out. End of execution. Okay, let's run it again. Yeah, I need semicolon. So run. Again, enter integer 8, 0, 99. It's all right because it's not 99. Minus 99. All right. So end of execution. Stopped. The execution stopped. All right. So this is the meaning of while. Of course, I can use it in counters, and counters will be our next discussion. Now I put it in the slides here. So I'll not this one. Sorry. I need to insert slide. Okay. I prefer to make it like this. Anybody is using code now? Microsoft Visual Studio Code. All right. See how much it's an annoying thing to give you the code in the right format. All right, so I'll take it now and give it to you here. Okay, so this is the answer of the question that we didn't write yet. So I will write it again here. Write a program that reads integers continuously and print them the screen without the screen. Okay, the program stops when you enter minus 99. So this is the question. Just let me reduce the size. Okay. All right. Now, what if I want to change a little bit? Like instead of 99, I can put, for example, 0. Same thing. All what you do is here to change the while, the condition. All right. So here instead of 9 minus 99, or you can even put it like greater than something. So here 0. It will stop when you enter 0. So let's run it. Okay. So start end of execution. Sorry, 0. It happens that n is equal to 0. Okay. So if the condition, let's say 1. Any numbers accepted except 1. Okay, so integer, for example, 5, 6, or 5, or minus 3, minus 99, as we said, it will continue working. It doesn't have any problem. Now, if I enter 1, that's it, end of execution. All right. So this is all for while. I mean, now, in order to explain it more, we will consider the counters. But I want to first discuss with you the for loop. Then we will discuss the counters. Now, to open the discussion, I will just stop recording now. So you feel free and you can discuss. I'm sorry, alhamdulillah. You can discuss it. Any questions? Okay.